Hello, I wanted to tell you about some day conferences that are coming up this August. They're being run by Biblical Counselling Australia, and they're on the theme of mental health and the church. They've asked me if I'd come and speak at those conferences, and they've also asked me to record this video to tell you just a little bit about them. My name's Steve Midgley. I live and work here in Cambridge in the UK. Many years ago, I qualified as a doctor and then trained and worked in psychiatry. I came out of that in order to get ordained, and for 20 years I've been senior pastor of a church here in Cambridge. Last year I stepped down to get more involved in the work of biblical counselling here in the UK. And it occurs to me that that term, biblical counselling, may be unfamiliar to some. I sometimes describe biblical counselling, UK's ambition is to try and support churches to become as good as they possibly can be in the care that they offer to people in their struggles. Whether those struggles are in the area of ordinary Christian discipleship or right through to those more complex struggles that require greater experience and expertise. It's towards that more complex end that the conference is going to be based as we think about mental health and your church. This is a book that I wrote together with one of my colleagues, Helen Thorne. We wrote it because we both care passionately about the kind of care that our churches offer in this area. You don't need me to tell you that we're in a mental health crisis. The media has made much of that, both in terms of numbers and severity. Difficulties in this area are on the increase. How will churches respond, both to those within our church families and to those in the community around us? And how will we respond in a distinctive way, in a way that speaks of Christ, but does so without sounding uncaring or simplistic? To backtrack, what is mental health? What is mental illness? How does it relate to spiritual health and spiritual truth? Those are some of the questions we'll be asking as we consider both theory and practice. Our conference is going to be relevant to those with a background in mental health and those with none. We won't be asking how we can all become experts. We will be asking how we can all make a contribution to a change in culture in our churches that means that they are places where those who struggle in this area are cared for with wisdom and skill and with compassion. I do hope that you might be able to join us.